Hey everyone, and InDesign Part 3, we're going to be looking at frames, shapes, and color. So by the end of this video, you should know how to place frames and format them with images or color, learn how to save customized color swatches to your document, and then create shapes using the provided tools. So let's get started. When creating a document, one of the first tasks you want to do is save your color scheme to your swatches window. The swatches window is simply a window that allows you to save very specific colors to use throughout your document, and this feature is present in many other Adobe softwares. For my example, I will be using a simple color scheme and layout found in my actual student portfolio, but I encourage you to find the right color that fits your document. The colors I'm going to be using are dark steel gray, goldenrod, and paper white. Each of these colors have a very specific RGB code, which will allow me to save that exact color to my swatches menu. Before I do that, one of the first things I'm going to do is organize my swatches menu. By default, Adobe will give you a set of swatches that for me aren't particularly useful. So I'm going to select the bottom one here, hold shift and select the top one. And then I'm going to hit the folder at the bottom of the screen that says new color group. That's going to put these in a group called color group 1. I'm just going to close that and rename it by double clicking, and I'm going to call this the default colors. To start adding new swatches, press the menu button within the swatches menu. This button looks like 3 lines spaced out from each other, and it's located right here. You're going to hit that and then select new color swatch. This menu will pop up prompting you to add a new color swatch, but you want to change the color mode from CMYK to RGB if it's not already on it. Next, you want to do your research and figure out what your color's RGB code is. RGB code stands for the hue saturation of that color of red, green, and blue. For my case, dark steel gray's RGB code is going to be 67, 70, and 75. And to name this, I'm actually going to uncheck this box and call it dark steel gray. And then it will show up in my swatches menu here. So I'm going to continue to do that for goldenrod. Which is 218, 165, and 32. And hit OK. And then that'll add that. And then I'm going to also add white because I want to group this together. So white is going to be 255 throughout, but you can just slide these all the way to the right. Once I do that, I'm going to highlight all of them and then hit new color group. And then I'm going to rename this portfolio example. And now all the colors that I'm going to use in this document are located within that color group. Now that our colors are saved as swatches, next I'm going to start laying out my spread, which involves using frames to differentiate where my project text and title will be. To do this, I will be adjusting my master page as this layout will be used multiple times. So I'm going to go to the Pages menu and then select the A master page. First, I'm going to place a temporary guide right in the middle of the page to help guide where I want to draw this line. And then next, I'm going to hit the rectangle tool and draw from the corner of the page to the corner of the new guide that we just drew. With that selected, I'm going to select it again just to make sure and hit dark steel gray. And this will color it as the saved color that we just added to our swatches. So I can see that the box that I just drew has a slight black outline to it, and that's something I don't want. So what I'm going to do is select it. I'm going to go over here to this toolbar, and you can see that there are 2 types of colors. The full square is the fill, so what's actually going in the shape, and the other one with the cutout square is your outline. So if you don't want a colored outline, what you can do is select the box, go over here to your swatches and select None. It's the box with the red outline through it. Once we hit that, we can see that there's no longer a black outline on our box. The next thing I want to do is create a shape for me to put my project title in. So I'm going to select a ruler and create a new guide. And I want this to be 1/2 inch wide. So I'm going to hold Shift and wait until it says 0.75 from this margin, so it's 1/2 inch. Then I'm going to select our rectangle tool again and click and drag from the corner to our guide, and it will draw a new box. And then I'm going to make it to where it has no outline, select the fill command, and then select our goldenrod color. Now that we have our colored boxes, I'm going to delete our temporary guides here, and then return back to our original spread. So after that, since every page is actually assigned to the A master page, the front page and the back page are actually formatted to be similar to these pages, and I don't want that. So I'm going to select the front page and the back page holding Control, and then right click on them, apply to master pages, and select None. And that will remove that from the front and back page. Similarly, I don't want this second spread to have the project title boxes. However, I do want to retain my guidelines associated with the A master page. So what I'm going to do is select my A master pages, both of them, hit the menu button, and then select Duplicate Master Spread A. And then it's going to create a B master based off the same spread. So what I'm going to do is go through here and delete the project title boxes. And then I'm going to go in the options and actually rename this. So I'm going to go into the options for B master and rename this Project Continued. And then I'm also going to rename the A master to New Project, as I will use this for every new project in the portfolio. And then I'm going to go back to the original spread, highlight the second spread, and then apply to master pages, B Project Continued. As a quick side note, you can also draw different kinds of shapes as well. So if you look at your frame tool, and if you click and hold it, you can also draw ellipses and polygons. So I'm going to select the ellipse frame tool, and you can see as I click and drag, you can see that I can draw a circular shaped shape, but if I hold Shift, it will actually draw this as a perfect circle. The regular shape tool also has a similar function. If you click and hold it, there are the ellipse tool and the polygon tool. Here's the polygon tool. If you click and hold Shift, it'll draw it as a perfectly scaled shape. And then finally, there are also the pen and pencil tool. I usually stick to the pen tool as it's easier to manipulate. You can also draw freehand shapes as well, and then apply any color or border color that you'd like. I'd also like to explain the differences between the two selection tools. So the first selection tool is your regular selection tool. It allows you to click on something, scale it, and move it around. But the direct selection tool, which is the one that does not have the hollow box in it, you can actually select on objects and manipulate them in a more direct way. So I can grab certain corners and move them around, which the regular selection tool doesn't allow me to do that. Pretty cool. So feel free to get creative with this. With all that taken care of, now I'm ready to start adding some text. Alright, so that wraps up InDesign Part 3, where we looked at frames, shapes, and color. Please feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions. Thanks.